to Well Drafted, an architecture and design podcast. Creative, crazy, and curious. Hi, I'm Shrina, an aspiring architect, and this show is here for us to connect. I'm your host for the show. Come join me as I take you through an array of architecture and design discussions. Hi everyone. Today we have Hani Bhutoria with us, who is an architect and a multifaceted designer from India. She works on projects associated with media and space, and her interests align with understanding the nature of design practices in product, media, and space making through the modes of research and design tools. Hi, Hani.
Hi Shrina.
It's good to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope the same for you.
Yeah, are you excited to record this episode?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. It's like a first of the kind that I'm doing. So I'm really interested to see how this goes.
That's right. So let's take everyone to the topic, okay?
Sure.
What do you think, like, who should pursue this field? Can you tell us about your journey and what your interests were? What led you to choosing architecture as a field?
So initially, if I look back now, I was always very curious to see, how buildings are coming up. Just like how they're coming up. Nothing about the details and all. Probably just a box building also coming up. That is where I think the initial manifestations started coming in. So looking back at the extracurriculars that I had, all of them like revolved around all sorts of art activities as well as activities where I was required to figure out as well as strategize how I have to do it. So basically plan out things, and that's where I think things started working out for me, where I liked the aspects of experimenting as well as aspects of how I can communicate. So having a love for language is where the second part started. So I believe that you one has to have like both knack of experimenting and storytelling to kind of take on this journey.
Right. So, as you said, that you've always been interested and aspired to communicate, strategize, design, is what we can say, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us what subjects you were good with in school? Because, a lot of subjects that also come into play while we're doing architecture.
Maths first of all,
Okay.
as well as science. I was more keen on taking up physics. So both of these subjects were, like I said, experimenting as well as figuring out, basically solving out works.
Yeah.
So both these subjects were where I would really look forward to. And apart from that, I was really interested in English because the way it was taught to me is where I feel that first things start where you want to visualize or dream about something.
Yes.
So I think English, physics, and maths is what it was for
Yeah.
me for to kind of decide that I like areas
Right.
that deal with it.
That's right. And I think maths, it was not one of my favorite subjects, I'll tell you honestly. But I was always very good with the geometry part of mathematics and a lot of conversions also, because they are so important in our field, right? We are constantly converting and imagining the dimensions that are given to us. English, very well put. And what do you think about social sciences? Do you think?
I think history does for sure, because history is where your storytelling can also get visuals of that. This is what happened in the past. This is what you're looking at, and history leads on to you for to take up challenges to travel and see that what was it like
To get inspired from.
exactly. So storytelling in visual aspects will, I think, help when a history subject comes in.
Yeah,
So without that, I don't think you have that kind of tactile experience
yeah,
that any sort of storytelling can give.
that's right.
History.
So we know that this field is put out there as just doing projects on site, construction related things. But We would say it's not true because we do believe in the storytelling and the conceptual part of this field. So,
Absolutely.
for the subjects that you mentioned in school, social sciences, so history, English, because it helps you visualize, mathematics, all of these become very important subjects to work with.
Absolutely, English because priority of its storytelling aspect, as well as history because of its visual past that it can bring and help you connect that what experiences, how were they manifested in the past, and physics and maths for sure because the idea of experimenting, creating, as well as knowing that how are the scales working out for you, especially from micro scale to a worldview scale. So that is why these subjects are important.
Okay. What other fields were you considering, right after 12th grade, which you had an interest in, similar to architecture?
So, apart from architecture, I was interested in product designing as a parallel field because, like I said, I was curious even from a coffee cup. So, I felt that this was another alternative that I can pursue
Yeah.
if I really want to after architecture as well. And English because I was in love with the subject, especially the storytelling aspect. So, English literature as well as product designing. And if there was a
Right.
merger, for sure I would have pursued it.
Yeah, I was very keenly looking at graphic designing as a subject because in these entrance exams, NATA at our times, we had this entire part where we were making graphics.
Yes,
But
our
then it led.
entire package kind of
Yeah.
thing was about graphic. First
Yeah.
of all, figuring out what you see visually and then you
Yeah,
act it
yeah.
out.
Yeah, so that was one subject that was, but again, the fields become very different. As you said, product design, we do have parts of product design in architecture where where you can design furniture, so table pieces, sofa, and everything, but then it becomes limited to the scope of the field. But yeah, all design related fields are very interesting. Don't So for somebody who is pursuing architecture, okay, and this actually irritates me a lot when our friends and family, they only believe that architects only make buildings. What do you think about that notion? And I think we were in the same frame of mind before we completed our education,
True.
but there is so much more that architects do and are actually doing in the field.
So, if I have to start right from like a definition of what architecture is, which is the core, like the art and the practice of designing and constructing buildings. But there's also one more definition which talks about carefully designing complex structures as well. So we have architects not only in the designing field, we have architects even in programming, we have architects even in technology. Hence, architects are builders of building, full stop, is definitely a wrong notion.
Yeah.
Because we have a responsibility of shaping infrastructure both on tangible and intangible levels. So, taking up and you do what you want to do, but you eventually have to solve problems, you eventually have to strategize things.
Yeah.
Hence, it works right from a worldview scale to a
Oh my
micro
God,
scale.
yeah.
Hence, it is definitely a wrong notion when one is talking about that
Just
we just
making
make
buildings.
buildings,
Yeah.
which is like a solid infrastructure only. We
Yeah.
make buildings which work also on an intangible format, which works in systems, which works in system operations on all levels.
Yeah. And come on, I mean, there are architects who are even building ships. There are architects that are only into research. There are architects that are shaping cities. Like they're actually really making cities. So that notion that if only the box is being created is something that needs to be removed. And as you said, very important line that I'd like to catch from what you said, it is a responsibility. And this sensitivity comes towards the field only after, I think, you go through this rigorous 5 years of education.
Absolutely.
And also because of these ideas that have been instilled inside of us because of our professors. Thank you to them. So Okay, so for people who want to pursue this field, who do you think is the right mentor they should approach before pursuing this field? Because I don't know, did you talk to someone in this field before deciding to take up architecture?
So I remember definitely that I was seeking out people who were practicing in this field,
Yeah.
seeking out all sorts of online research that I can to know that what this field is going to be about, what will it lead on to.
Mm.
But today, like I feel, and even the time when I chose to pursue this, everything was still out there. The
Yeah.
tools and methodology were out there. But what I really consider that I could have also gone and chosen the approach to have site visits,
Yeah.
to just go out there in practical application fields to see how it is. And also I feel one should seek the approach of traveling,
Yeah.
because that is what will kind of help you to influence that, is it what you really want to do.
And actually, for like everyone are very different travelers, right? So as a child, ever since I was a child, like the built form was always something that I always observed when I was traveling. So you start knowing your interests. Some people travel only for the love of food, some people travel only for the love of culture.
True.
So I think traveling becomes very important, but I really wish I did talk to a couple of people before pursuing this field. But I really think if somebody is going forward, they should, one, talk to a practicing architect, two, talk to a student of architecture, and
Sure.
three, very importantly, even talk to a professor of the field, an
Yes.
academician.
So
Because
involving to
only,
practitioners and academics both is
yeah,
required.
because only making buildings is not what architects do. We know so many necessarily just doing projects. They're doing
Absolutely.
so much more work and research. Just as like medicine field or any other field, research is also a very important aspect in architecture.
Absolutely.
And because you're actually involved in design research, why don't you tell us some things that you deal with, so people who are not aware about this niche of our profession can have an idea about it. What do
So,
they do?
research lays the groundwork of building practical application. And important of the only importance here is about that if research for opening up new bounds is not done, then there'll be a mundane routine that will come into the field. So to kind of open up new bounds, to open up new experiments, design research plays an important aspect of
Yeah.
building the foundation for the entire field to progress.
Yeah.
So architecture, after doing an entire 5-year degree, I feel the part that interested me was always trying out new areas of what I can lead on to, which is not regular.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
conceptualizing, because that's when you start figuring out that you can put forward a new feed for everyone. And it can then start from starting out micro scale experiment and leading on to designing worldview ideas. That's how you
Yeah.
actually do things that today sci-fi is actually able to translate in real world.
Yeah.
If you did not dream about it, if you did not research about it, practical application wouldn't have happened.
That is so true. So just to bring a gist to all of you, design research is also like research is also a very important aspect of the field that architects do. Maybe not everybody knows about it, but if you think you are going into this field just to make buildings, I think that's a very wrong notion. Maybe even Honey and I, we both went into the field thinking that, and we are on very different pathways of life. Tell us why this field is worth it and why is it not. I mean, not actually why it is not, but the pros and cons of it. Like I recently came across a study by Harvard which said that this field is one of the toughest to pursue,
True.
right? So of course there are like I know the cons about it are discussed a lot and we will put them out there, but let's start with the pros.
So architecture is one of the most dynamic fields.
Yeah.
So it is also about taking a creative journey first only if you really inclined about it. the journey will be very engaging because it is one of the most self-driven fields.
Yeah.
So that kind of time, effort has to be invested. For sure, it will be new for the first time, but once you get into discovering a lot about yourself as well as what you want to have with the profession, you will realize that architecture schools are not meant to be easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they want their individuals to be dynamic as well as strong when they get
Yeah.
out, because
Yeah.
architecture will not only open a lot of opportunities for you, but it also opens opportunities from you. Hence, the pros are that it works that you are also taking up a responsibility, but you are developing opportunities for other people also to come and engage with it. So a journey that leads on for a lot of self-discovery as well as building opportunities. I feel it's worth pursuing.
Yeah.
But yes, like I said, it's not supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
So if you are really willing that it will be cakewalk, it won't be. It will require a lot from you.
Ani has put it out very subtly. All the pros, obviously, engaging. But yeah, it is a difficult journey. But as we say, diamonds are made best under pressure.
Absolutely. I think if there is good support from the infrastructure where you're pursuing it, it would be a bit more easier, in terms of focus on the creative journey. So the cons will be about going into several redoing things. Even if you feel that you know it, you think always asked about rediscovering it. If we can have support on levels where we can eventually solve out or have it aligned in a way that students feel that it's gratifying rather than it being entirely a very tiring journey.
Basically, the culture of the place you're pursuing it from, the people you are surrounded by, all of that adds or subtracts from the experience. But yeah, going to a very good school is, I think, a very important aspect, because you like it or not, you are going to spend all your hours at school once you're enrolled.
So if you're there for more than 8 hours, you want to take back something that you've done for the day at least. And if that is not gratifying, that's when you feel that it's tiring and it's not worthless.
That's true.
So if you're able to figure out what you like and you find out that niche and have that in that day, I think that what keeps you going, as well as will let you to discover what you like about the entire realm of architecture actually.
It's very huge.
And pursue that element.
Yeah.
And explore that forward.
Yeah. So we can sort of conclude saying that, it is a science-based field, an art-based field, cultural, history, so much more. And that notion should be cut out for people who want to pursue that it is not only about making buildings.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's a very dynamic field, and dynamic fields have the opportunity to kind of open up to a lot of possibilities. Pursue actually a particular field that you have wished for, but not necessarily the position or not necessarily the particular activity, but you can somehow pursue it because there are architects in every system nowadays.
Yeah.
Solving
Everywhere.
complex structures requires people with that skill set.
That's true. Yeah. We can say it was very well drafted by both of us.
Yes.
Hopefully this helps people around who want to, who are thinking to pursue this field. We've made it a little bit more clearer for them.
After pursuing it, I feel if you've offered them good highlights about how this field is going to be like,
Yeah.
and rather than having all the confusion, seek out people, talk to them that how this field is going to translate for you, just like we talked about it.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, honey.
Thank you, Shreya.
Thank you for coming. Okay, bye.